Show. The Coco Show. It's chocolate, baby. The Coco Show. The Coco Show. It's about to go crazy. Run it, run it, run it. Yeah, yeah. Run it. I'ma say it how I want it. All the time. Grab the mic to speak so I can say what's on my mind. I'ma say it how I want it. All the time. Grab the mic to speak so I can say what's on my mind. I'ma say it how I want it. All the time. Grab the mic to speak so I can say what's on my mind. I'ma say it how I want it. All the time. Grab the mic to speak so I can say what's on my mind. Yeah, it's not a hassle. You just don't wanna do right. Stick into it, your behavior. We calling that thing irrational. Oh yeah. This 3-piece suit I'm in is fashionable. But I'm in it to win it, yeah, get in this life, we're living it so hashtagable. Keep repeating all the same old things, getting all the same old games. Let's get something that's braggable. Oh yeah. So we can start to live it up, cause we'll never give it up, yeah. Coco Show. It's chocolate, baby. The Coco Show. It's about to go crazy.
Yo, it's your main man, David Strand here, and it's the Coco Show. Happy Black History Month. And as always, I have my brother here, DJ KDS.
What's up, man?
And as always, we'd like to thank all the fans that are listening to us on Freedom K Radio, Hustle Man Radio, and Hustle Man Radio as well. Kind of shot me on that one. I'm sorry. And our people at Mike's Cheesesteaks and Roast Pork, and everybody at the Gather Greenfield area. Got Miami Bites, Reservoir Dogs. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, you love them. They got all kinds of hot dogs and stuff. Well, I ain't eating it because it's beef. Nah, they ain't got atomic dogs. Yeah, they ain't got atomic, but you know. Yeah.
Friday gun time.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, we have a special guest here today. Her name is Jess.
Hello.
So, yeah. And let's get this party started. And again, happy Black History Month. So, first and foremost, how's everybody doing? Because right now mental health is like high. I think that's higher than food porn right now.
I'm in a better headspace today.
Not so much for me.
Not so much for you? No. I go up and down sometimes. But I just feel like it's a never-ending fight. Like, it's like I get high in a moment and I'm like, yeah, and I don't know why, because ain't nothing about to happen.
Right.
And I'm just feeling it, and I might turn on some Rick Ross, whatever, and then like shit just goes, pew, like something happens, and I just go down, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like work to try to get back up. It's never ending.
Why is it harder? You know what's crazy? It's harder to go up than down.
Yes.
So, how you been?
Lots of family stuff happening. So, just right now it's kind of a low, but I mean, I feel like with that being happy and not having really a reason to, you just try to keep yourself happy, keep yourself up, but it is definitely harder to keep that happiness when there's a lot of stuff going on.
So, could we say that it's getting closer to that big impact?
What you mean?
Well, because I mean, it's always something different. It's always something different. To where last year, COVID, then the year before that it was COVID. I'm saying
COVID, and then it was
COVID, and it's like now it's 2022 and everybody's trying to get up, but it's like everybody's going down. Literally
adjusting to the new normal, which quote unquote normal.
What if I say what is normal?
No, but there is no normal, but it's what they want you to think is normal. Mask, no mask. Vaccine, no vaccine. It's all over the place.
I feel like everything is racist now. If you wear a mask, you racist. You don't wear a mask, you racist. Or you get a vaccine, you racist. If you don't get a vaccine, you racist. And you got a bonus. You got Karens and got Kens. I mean, it's just big. I don't know. And it's
for the ladies with the
it's a conundrum. Let's pull out some big words on this.
75-cent word.
So everybody's been dealing with the change and dealing with everything, the conundrum. The conundrum. As much as possible. Conundrum. I couldn't even spell it. I don't even know what it means either. I couldn't even spell it if I tried. But today's episode and today's topic is we're going to talk about tools. And no, not your dad's tools or your mom's tools, you know. Garden tools, you know, not the hoe, but the hoe.
Look like your head. Here
What?
are tips and trades to the secrets that you've never heard before from the rich to the poor. You are about to see
All for the low price of $19.99.
Not those tools, but the tools of life. To know yourself, to know who you are in the beginning. That's why I noticed that a lot of generations have gone through that so much to where we really don't know what's right from wrong. Let's talk about it. How do we feel about that? And of course, if you want to add in your input, you can always, if you know me personally and you know my brother, y'all can always come talk to us and y'all can be on the podcast anytime. But if you do want to be on the podcast, you can always hit them with the email, brother.
Hit it with the email.
Hit it with the email.
Wait, let me see. Hold on 1 second. I think it was the C. Didn't
Catch your
C.
C's.
Yeah, it was 1tccshow@gmail.com. That's the one.
Yeah. Put all your information. No, not all your information, but your question, your name, where you're from, and if it's not English, then we'll do our best to get it translated. And if you're just cussing us out just for the thrill of it, hey,
I'm gonna come for you.
blah 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 blah. You too.
Because I'm gonna come for you, man.
So,
Tried it on Instagram. He didn't win. I'm telling you.
yeah, so somebody's on our Instagram like really hacking us like bad. They were, hey.
I think somebody trying to hack TK too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He did a little commercial. It was kind of funny because he was like, "Check me out. I'm gonna be at this theater this time, this theater this time, and whoever's trying to impersonate me, please stop."
At least he said please.
Like, wait, what?
No, because it's like, why are y'all doing that? Go get your own thing. Y'all got time to hack people. Hack yourself.
People want to be moochers.
But
They want to work for what
It's
they
all right. So we're gonna go back to tools.
All right, towards my phone.
Tools. So mom and dad.
Mommy.
Excuse me. One tools that mom taught us. A couple tools actually. One thing she said, I'm getting y'all prepared for life. Mm-hmm. And y'all probably heard this on numerous episodes.
That was a bag of tools right there.
That was who?
Bag of tools right there.
It was a bag of tools. Getting us prepared for life. She said not school, not college, but life. And me being almost 40, I understand that. And I know the young ones listening to us now, I know it seems kind of hard and they tell you not to do certain things, but in the long run, you're going to understand it. Listen to them. Regardless if you hate them or not. Just listen to them. They may help you out. Somebody's calling. Uh-oh. It's the daughter calling.
Hey, baby. Hey, darling.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, baby, we recording the episode right now. Can I call you back? I love you so much. Bye.
Disappointment.
Daddy! See?
I ain't been home all day, y'all.
See?
But
She wants you to hurry up and get home. We gon'.
anyway, here's the thing. I feel like, and that's why we love our moms or whatever, but like, I mean, she would put us in the uncomfortable scenarios of having to figure out some things on your own. At the same time, she's always left her door open for us to come in and sit with her most of the day and just ask questions, and she would just give you answers.
And like
no holding back because we were kids.
Nope.
Like, this is what it is. Now, she used to refer to girls as roaches because they everywhere.
They are. They really are.
And usually they come out, it's late. It's dark. That's when they come out. And then when the light comes, they're like, scatter, and they run.
Oh, no. That's what we gonna call that the truth.
The truth.
The truth is so bright.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, some of the things, like, I remember sometimes, like, my mom, she would try to teach us how to make certain things. And then there was a time where she said, if you want to eat tonight, you're going to figure it out.
That's right.
You know where the pots are. You know where the food is. You know where the spices are. Go cook.
Go cook.
Or when we're at the mall, she Bernie Mac'd us. You don't know what that means. It means when you go somewhere and they tell you to come back at a certain time and you ain't there, you get left.
You get left.
At that point, you feel like that.
Lesson.
Yeah, it's that's why Beyonce wrote that song, "Find Your Way Home, Find Your Way Back." I don't know if y'all heard that. Man, listen. When you're a kid, you look like, dang, she just abandoned us. But no, it's a lesson to be learned. Like, being on time is an important lesson. Being where you're supposed to be, important lesson. Do you even remember how you got here? Like, what was so important that you didn't do what you're supposed to do? Like, there's a lot to be learned.
There was a reason
things
she said, meet me back here at this time.
Exactly.
Oh, that's not the first time she's done that, though. She's done that at Walmart. She's done it at Kmart. She's done that.
But see, as a kid, you don't think of that. You don't think of the consequences, which your mom gave you the tools to deal with your decisions, and you have to understand that there's consequences. Lots of people don't even acknowledge that there's consequences to their actions.
Right.
So therefore, the tools that they were given, they may not have realized that they were tools, because growing up, your mom saying, don't touch a stove because it's hot. You want to touch it because it's orange.
Talking about the same thing.
And then you're just like, no, but I want to touch it. You touch it, what happens? You get burnt.
Yeah.
You don't realize that that's a tool that she's teaching you. Hey, you touch this, you're going to hurt.
Yeah.
So we take life as that same way. We take it as, do we want to go into the kitchen, or do we want to stay? Do we not want to go into the kitchen? Because life is, you're going to get burnt. You're going to get healed. You're going to get wet. You're going to get dry. You're going to get all this other stuff that you did at home. But it's just a lot worse out there.
Right. Well, it's like that saying, too, if you can't take the heat.
Get out of the kitchen.
But there are those that'll stay in there and the life of the kitchen. Like, it ain't pleasant. But there's a lot to be learned in that uncomfortable place.
So much
There are a lot of
fun.
people who avoid it because they're like, they can see from afar. They don't look like fun. So then they go to what is and learn. They miss the lesson. You ain't even get the tools. It's almost like those video games where you go around and you find those certain things that give you certain points or certain abilities or certain weapons. It's like, if you don't take the time to look around and find everything, then all you have is what you have. So when you go up against the boss or the whatever or the final stage, you're probably not prepared, and you keep dying and wonder why. Life, and it's just a lot of tool. And like in your everyday, there's something to be learned. And it's like we were talking about, everyone has to continue to grow. You can't just come to a place in your life that I've accomplished this, that, I've got this job, I made this money, I got this house, I got this marriage. Now I'm done and good, I can just maintain. No, you're supposed to live on. And I see that in older people. I hate to say it, but it's like they have wisdom we don't have. And none of the youth want to really talk or even deal with them.
Or learn it.
So it's going to die with them, man. And where does that leave us? Because things are worse than what they used to be.
Yeah, and they keep getting worse.
And again, like I said, history has a way of repeating itself. That's it.
Yeah.
It's put right there for you, because now it's cool to be this and to be that, and everything's changing, but to where it's just like, where was it before? Can we get it back to before? Can we get it back to where it's just like, hey, whoop your kids. Hey, smack your kid in the back of the head. Hey, you want to act up, take that bet off and let all the kids witness. I'll do this to your kids too.
But you do that now, and that's abuse.
Right.
That's how they say it.
And if you leave your kid in the store at Walmart, they missing.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and that's why we fight, though.
What?
When you get beat as a child, to have respect for that person whooping your ass.
Right.
A lot of people, if they feel like they don't get the respect, which all men should get, and I'm gonna go through that in a second, but like, we feel like we need to whoop your ass so that you understand that I deserve respect too. So I say that's why we fight. But from a relationship standpoint, I heard that men are supposed to love first the woman, and in turn the woman is supposed to respect the man.
Yeah.
But we can love the woman, and then we just love the woman, right?
Well, but I feel like, because like in the Bible it says men are to love their wives, and it says the women are supposed to respect their husbands. Us women, we want to feel loved more than we could feel respected, and yes, that's nice, and yes, that's great, but I would rather feel loved. Whereas men, when they're put in that authoritative like stance in the family, in the home, they want to feel more respected. Of course they want to feel loved, because it's not like men don't want to feel loved, but they respect love.
Are you an artist looking to get your song played around the world? Freedom K Radio is the place for you. For more details, just call 704-345-0324 or email us at 1tccshow@gmail.com. Let your music echo far and wide on freedomkradio.net.
So,
Wanna be loved.
when one gives respect, the other one gives love. You're ultimately still showing love to each other.
And it brings you to a higher state of like companionship, you know, and it allows you to see people in their entirety. So like you regard them in that, regardless of how they might, like there might have been mistreated or whatever, all those things, it's like you're not even thinking about,
Right.
because you're in that higher state.
But then on top of that, they don't want to put in the work. Put in the work.
You're right, and that's what I'm saying. Like going back to tools, it's like that. A bag of tools, like to use those, that's just a work. And what I said last time, people got to clock in, man. Don't nobody want to work,
Right.
to do or get anything,
And that's knowing yourself.
anything at all. And so, if you're not gonna clock in, somebody else gonna do your job.
Right.
And then those people are the people you look at and say, well, how did they get this? And, you know, I remember I used to hear a lot of time, how did you get promoted to this job? How did you didn't go to school. You didn't go to, you're right, I didn't.
I
Put in
didn't.
the work.
Put in the work.
See, it's the same thing with me too. Cause it's just like, how did you end up being an AGM? I'm like, I put in the work. Like I did what I was supposed to do. Like it's just that simple. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
But we could do that with life too, right?
What?
Clock in.
Yeah, and you need to.
How many?
Here's the thing: people think, they say this, man. You're supposed to work harder on yourself and on your dreams than you do on your 9 to 5. And people go into work and they give whatever energy they have to that, and when they clock out, I'm done. I'm going home. I'm chilling. I'm Netflixing. I'm gonna take so and so, and that's the rest of your day. And you do that for years until you realize you ain't did shit. Because a lot of those people aren't even around anymore. Them damn shows ain't even on no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
You've watched it a million times.
yeah, I know I am. I watched New Girl twice now in this entirety. I love
New
that show.
Girl. Love New Girl.
Love that show. It's funny. Anyway,
My spirit animal.
but yeah, it's like if
Oh,
you want more,
Zoe.
you got to do more. You know, and that can say, you know, a lot of people say, oh, everyone's talking about getting their own business, this and that, being blah, 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 and they don't want the work that's behind it. But it's like, I'll say it like this, man. I was given ideas like this year. It's weird. Woo, it's weird. That's all I can say right now. I was given like ideas for this year of things I feel I need to do. And like mentally, I'm already like trying to put it off. One of the things, I want to open up a studio for our podcast.
I thought about the same thing.
And I want to open it up to other new podcasters that might want to start their own show.
Yep.
And charge them an hour.
And not just that though. I wanted to turn this into like a night thing. Well, kind of like a night thing, to where it's just like we kind of have a night show, but it's in Greenville.
Yeah. Because it's like, I think what we have accomplished in this podcast is pretty incredible. It's pretty mind blowing.
And we've been honest.
And we look at each other like, how in the world? When we go, like, we get those numbers and, you know, Freedom K calls us, it's like, we look at each other like, man, how is this even possible? We get emails at people like out in Cambodia listening, it's like, how? We look at who we think we are, and it's like, what? It don't make sense.
It don't make
So
sense.
I say, if we can do this, a whole lot of other people can do it. And there's something to be learned in a lot of people that are being quiet. And I'm just saying, like, there's some people that even might say that we're needed. I think Sticky Fingers, Steve.
Yeah.
I think he said that to you.
Crossman. Yes, Mr. Steve Crossman.
He said that to you. And it's
He
like,
said, keep going because you're changing the world. He's just like, isn't this crazy? It's crazy to hear him say that because I haven't heard from him in years. And he said, "You're changing the world. I like listening to y'all. Y'all are funny. You're making great points. Keep going. To hell what everybody else said." Mm-hmm. Thank you, Steve.
Well, and there's something to learn from everybody because of the perspectives. Because everybody has different perspectives. You may think some way, and I would have never thought of the same thought in the same way.
Right.
But like hearing you say something, it like sparks something in my head, and it's like, oh man, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That actually checks out. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you can just continue to learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be learned.
And I say that, man, it's like, I used to be big and not saying anything, but I feel like I've been conditioned to be that way, and I hate it because it's like, that's not who I am as a person. I went into, my new job or whatever, and I didn't say a word to anybody for like the whole year, and they would come up to me like, "Man, are you okay, man? Are you like being here? Is it, as an employee?" Like, I'm like, I'm fine. It's just what happened to me prior to this scarred me, and I felt like I needed to be quiet, but nah, that's in a nutshell like the enemy winning, and I can't have that because, again, it's like if I don't at least make the initiative to speak up and say something, then nothing happens. This whole podcast idea it was literally an idea I had when he lost his job, and he was coming to talk to my mom about it, just that. And I was so excited about it. I was like, bro, you should do this. Like, that's where it all started, man.
And look at where we are now.
And so,
was it 9?
9, 10.
Yeah, and it's just, that was one idea that I was super hype about. Now I got some more in my head now, and I'm thinking, should I do it?
No,
hesitating.
I'm the
there's
same
fear,
way.
There's,
No.
There's anxiety. There's, I can say that there's a lot going on right now, but those are all excuses, man.
Yep. And that's why it's like, I'm getting to the point now, I'm just going to start jumping.
I mean,
I'm thinking, because I'm like, I feel like I'm at a plateau. And I'm just, there's not really no wavy, no nothing. So I'm just like, yeah, it's time to amp it up just a little bit.
Here's
new chapter.
And this is something
the
else.
Right way.
This is another light revelation that came to me, man. Like, I think people are afraid to die. And this is gonna mean different to a lot of people, but people are afraid to die. If I unpack everything I'm supposed to while I'm alive, right? Why am I still here after the fact? Because what's in me is now out. I've brought it to life. That's why I was here. Now it's time for me to go. Now those things inside of me change a lot of things. An idea for a podcast, but really to showcase my brother that he's more than what they say that he is. It was stemmed to give life to a lot. And now there's millions. All I'm saying is,
to his story.
Yeah,
his opinion.
It's like, I heard Miles Monroe say that, man. He was like, yeah, people are afraid to die. It's like, he said, I unloaded everything that was in me from my books to my sermons to my YouTube to my ministry. And he passed, I think, in like his 50s or something like that.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Right. But at the same time, it's like we have to die to ourselves before we can begin that life. So all of that is something
that
people
sense.
aren't willing to do because, like, they're either comfortable in their own skin, and I'll say that from the snake standpoint of snakes continuing.
You got to explain that. Yeah, you got to explain all that. You got to explain all that.
So snakes, just so y'all know, like, snakes never stop growing. They always continue to grow. Yeah. They can actually get as big as that whole Anaconda movie. Like, they can get that big, and they shed skin, and they just never stop. Like that snake, you're supposed to continue to grow. I think a lot of the references we have from the Bible are supposed to teach us a lot more than that. The snake is
supposed to, yeah.
Well, as you grow, people move out of the way.
Right.
Because if I see a big snake like that coming
at
me,
I'm out.
I'm
Your ethnicity will save you. But,
and again, who got big snakes in their lives?
Yeah. But we have to die to what we were to become who we are. And it's like,
or who
you've heard
we're
it in
become.
music, you need to destroy in order to rebuild.
Right.
Like, there's different ways of saying it, but it's like a lot of people aren't willing
to take that risk.
Sacrifice themselves to become what they need to.
Drop the luggage.
Well, also sacrificing is going to be really hard. Nobody wants to do the hard stuff. Like nobody wants
to clock in.
Who wants to go and do hard stuff? Like, and continue to be hard and go through hard stuff until it gets to that point where it finally makes sense.
Yeah.
But who wants to do it by themselves? Because again, you do it by yourself, you turn to another person. By the time somebody else wants to come into your life, you don't want that no more. You've already built this whole new person, this whole new profile.
Yeah.
That's a whole different person. So now you got to figure out, like, what did I miss?
Right.
Yeah,
Now
but
you-
if it's meant to be, it'll happen.
And I like tools that come from everywhere. So I was watching that Bruce Lee movie, that last one they made. I don't know if y'all saw that one. No. In that Bruce Lee movie, one of the masters found out how Bruce Lee brought the art and started teaching Americans. And this one master was
Are you talking
shamed.
about the Bruce Lee movie? Like
Yeah.
the Dragon movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the one master was
Slow
shamed
moment.
in a fight because of how he won. I think he cheated or he did something that was like a death blow or something. And he was shamed from that. So then he came to America. Bruce thought it was for him or it was because of what he was doing. And the guy was shamed and was trying to find his way or something. Like he was trying to find penance or peace or something. I don't know. And so he became a dishwasher.
Oh.
And he was just like, I'm just here to wash dishes. That's all he did. And he meant it. Best fighter you ever seen in life. And you never know. And he just sat there washing dishes and he waited and he waited and he waited. And then that one guy came up to him.
Yep.
And found him and was just like, oh, you were so-and-so. And he was just like, I'm just a dishwasher, you know?
Yep.
And even though he tried to put it off, that guy's like, no, you are so-and-so. And he's like, please, can I give you a ride? Can I do this? And all of that brought about him coming to that fight. Now, they both fought and had a realization in the fight. Never destroyed either one of them. They just kind of had a realization moment. They stopped. They got the lesson they were supposed to learn. They bowed, and that was it. The guy returned home. So it's like, you have to know that in your, like, when you are starting something, that people come to you naturally. Like, you don't have to do anything. For some reason, you know, even in this podcast, people think, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna leave and not, you know, be a part of the show, and he gonna miss me when I'm gone. But
I'm not. Bye-bye.
it goes on because I feel like it needs to. And
Yep.
who needs to be here will be here. And
We'll be
who will
here.
show up
We'll show up.
will show up.
And if they
And-
want to put in the work, they put in the work.
Yeah, and then it goes through the motions to become what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to do anything extra beyond showing up and doing our part based off what you want to do.
And on top of that, that lets you know who your character really is. Because I mean, if you can't be honest with everybody else and be honest with yourself, then what are you doing?
Lying.
Yeah,
Why
an
continue?
American.
straight up lying.
Oof. Like an
Taught
American.
to lie. Conditioned to lie. You've been lied to.
So when you gonna get out of that?
When you stop lying.
Can people even do that?
It's hard, but you can.
It ain't that hard.
People don't like honesty, man.
I mean, they feel like
Some
if
people don't want to know the truth.
it's like this. When you know the truth, that's when you lose friends.
But like, I've had friends who literally say, "Just lie to me.
Nope.
Just lie to me and tell me that it
Nope.
was fine. Just lie to me.
Not
and
gonna
tell
do
me.
that.
I get sad and you hurt my feelings if you tell me the truth." And I'm just like, that's a really sad way to live, because if somebody can't feel honest and be like, "Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. That was really sucky what you did," or maybe you didn't mean that, but it came across wrong, then I would rather have somebody be honest than to just lie to me, even if it hurt my feelings, because that helps me to grow.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to grow anymore, man. Everybody just wants to see what's on TV, what's the hottest music. Don't nobody want to grow. They just want to say, I want to do that, and then copy it for the rest of their lives. So that way it goes down and just keeps trickling on down.
I mean, that's what it seems like, but if you want to change, there's got to be somebody else out there who also wants to change.
Yeah, on the other side of the globe, baby. What the hell? Damn sure ain't in the U.S. Like, this is ridiculous. I feel like I ain't talking junk. Let me say that first. But I just feel like I'm gonna lose my marriage. I'm gonna lose this. I'm gonna break up with you. I'm gonna get with a girl. I'm gonna get with a guy. Why? That don't make sense.
Yeah.
So you feel like they will understand your pain? Like, did you try to talk it out first? Or no, not necessarily talk. Did you shut up and listen?
Right.
That is a part of growth. And again, that goes back to tools that you were supposed to have been taught. Now, if you notice that mom and daddy didn't give you love and didn't share love, guess what you need to do when you get a boyfriend? Share love. Make sure that he understands this is what I went through. But I don't want to be like that. I want to love somebody, and I want somebody to love me. And then boom, you find that person, and then you go to the next stage to where it's just like, okay, cool. Now I got a family. Now I get to show my family what it was supposed to look like. So that way, now I'm about to start a new generation that I ain't gonna say it's gonna copy everybody else, but I want it to be different.
And breaking those curses.
And I'm breaking curses, as they say, generational curses. I want to break them. So I mean, don't nobody want to do that? That's work.
Hey, it's Raven, and you listening to the Coco Show podcast on freedomkradio.net.
Boost Mobile's new upgraded network has a stronger signal and faster speeds. It's not just fast, it's super fast.
We like it, but how can we say it's more than super fast?
Boost Mobile's upgraded network, it's fast.
Curtis, how do you spell EU?
Get Boost Mobile Shrink It Plan and watch your bill shrink to $35 per month after just 6 on-time payments. Plus, get a free Samsung Galaxy A11 when you switch. All on our new upgraded network.
In life, again, when you want to start breaking generational curses and you want to start breaking barriers, or I don't know, when you want to do something different, you have to be willing to put in the work and understand, okay, this comes with not necessarily a bad consequence, but it comes with a consequence. And it may be a financial consequence. It may be an argumentative. Is that even a word?
Argumentative.
Thank you. Argumentative.
Close.
Yeah, those words. It could be one of them. It could be a family thing. But again, are you willing to risk the person that you had talked about that said, hey, this is what we're going to do as a team? Because you can't put an I in team, which I said that so many times, and somebody else has said that so many times. Do it together. You don't do it by yourself. But everybody wants to do it by themselves. They think they can do it by themselves. People that that you think you're your friends, they're not your friends. We'll talk about that in another episode.
Yeah, man, the tools you get to is like, you gotta know that they have specific functions, but you gotta know that for each part of what you're building in your life, you can't use the same tool to assemble all parts of your life. And so you have to learn how to, balance and discern whether or not what I'm using this tool for in the moment, like, is it really how I should be using it or what I should be using? Because a lot of times, you'll take a certain situation or a relationship, you're dealing with somebody, and you wonder why things aren't working out, or maybe they can't hear what, what the other person's saying or whatever. And it's like, I've heard a friend say, that they have a disorder where they, I'm gonna mess this up. Oh my God. Not psycho. What is it? Split personality? Help me out, somebody. Split personality?
Deity?
What's that?
It's
multiple?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one.
It's where you have multiple,
something.
What is it called?
Yeah, I can't.
Personalities. It's like,
yeah.
It's like different, you turn into different people.
Correct. So,
almost like a different identity.
Mm-hmm.
This person had friends.
Split identities.
Something identity disorder.
Jesus. This person had friends where they were trying to explain to them why they are the way they are, and saying like, this is kind of what I need if we are to be friends. And instead of responding in that moment how you should have, it's like you put it off and said, well, no, everyone's like this, and that's not true, and I don't have to do this.
That's a famous response.
You know what I mean?
It's an excuse.
It's an excuse. And
it's an
like,
excuse.
In that moment, you said what you thought was right, which I always tell people there is a perception of your version of right, but that doesn't mean it's right across the board for everyone.
Right.
Because I like the idea of a black Santa Claus, but
that still freaks me out.
Ho. Sorry, anyway, I'm not gonna. It's just funny. Whatever. Everyone doesn't agree with that, and I get it.
Do you?
No.
That don't freak you out.
It would be funny.
No, it wouldn't be.
Yes. To hear little kids scream instead of
oh come on,
it's Santa.
Screaming.
Okay, now I got you.
You're talking Nightmare Before Christmas.
Why? Because he's black. That's what I'm saying. This is a fucked up world. Anyway. But yeah, that friend responded that way, man, and left that opportunity to use a tool to build a relationship. And because of that, they're no longer friends.
Well, a lot of people view that the tools, like you said, not every tool can you use on different things. Mm-hmm. We don't have like the Wonder tool, because I know there's a tool out there that was like a universal. You could stick anything. I was always intrigued by it, but that's not how life tools work.
Gadget 3000.
You can't do that.
I mean, I think that's called the Powerball.
Powerball?
Maybe.
What? No, that's not the name of it. I watched the ad a couple times. It was not it.
I call it Powerball.
But learning the tools, it takes time sometimes to like learn. Okay, this does this.
Yeah.
So I can't use it in this other scenario in life.
Right.
Like it's not going to help me here. It's not going to help me at my job. This is not going to help. But learning that is a hard thing to swallow sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's either you're gonna do it or you don't want to.
For a lot of people, it's like building IKEA furniture. I mean, it's cheap. It's gonna make you frustrated. You're gonna break something. You're gonna lose something.
You're not gonna use it.
Actually, no, you ain't gonna use other parts.
You're not gonna use other parts. And you're gonna wonder why it's hanging.
Right. Why it's wobbly. Like, and that makes you mad. Like, man, I ain't doing this again. You're done with it.
Now it's broke.
Right. But people treat like a lot of life experiences and situations that same way. And
it shouldn't be that way, though.
It shouldn't be that way, but it is that way.
But it is.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting M&Ms.
Because, and I'm known for this. When I say this, I mean this to myself. It's like we all say we're tired of doing certain things or dealing with certain things, and I don't know. I feel like we were just meant to endure a lot more than we're supposed to, or that we do. Sorry, that bird really messed me up. Yeah, we're supposed to endure a lot more than we think we should. With a lot of people, man. So again, those are just a lot of like life lessons that we have to learn moving forward. But just to remind people, man, it's like it's okay to fail. Like if you make a decision to eat, let's just say Wendy's and McDonald's, you choose McDonald's. And you didn't choose Wendy's, but then like you ate that shit and got food poisoning. Like it's no one's fault but your own.
Right.
And it's fine. Once you get better and you have the option again, just
you're not gonna choose it.
You're not gonna choose that.
Yeah.
But just
maybe stay away from
or no, my favorite.
Well, it's the only thing that was close by.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you'll make sure something else is close by next time.
You make decisions. If
Take
it's
the
a
next
bad one,
left.
you learn from them. You grow from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to continuously live in that thought process. At the same time, if you gain knowledge about something, it is important to share, and that's what I kind of hate about like celebrities a lot of times. Well, I don't really commit to learning a lot of people's names because a lot of people's dreams, in a way, is to try to accomplish something like that. And all they really tell you is, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I can do it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. Like, what's stopping you? Nah, nigga, what did you do?
What did you really do?
Who did you talk to?
Who did you see? What
was the basic skills that you had that got you that far? Like, nah, don't just, you can do it. Come on, man. If you got knowledge, you're supposed to share that knowledge with people. And some people don't want to hear what you got to say.
Listening part.
So, I'm the natural, like, if I talk and I'm trying to say something, not really just to show like being better or nothing like. If I say something to you and I feel like it might help you, and you don't listen, I'm gonna shut up.
That's it.
I'm gonna stop.
Because why am I repeating myself?
Yeah. But you know, I feel like everyone deserves a chance in that, and it's like, but you have to be willing and humble to at least listen. And it's like, if you know something, you can at least hear it out and be like, yeah, I've heard it before. After the fact.
After the fact.
Right.
You know, that's not hurting anyone's feelings. It's not really like being rude or disrespectful. It's kind of what it is. And if anything, a lot of times people get knowledge and then they forget about certain things. But like,
and then somebody else brings something up that sounds like it, and then you're like, oh, I learned that a couple years ago. Just forgot about it.
So in tools that you acquire through life, I feel like you need to share those as well, man, because there might be something that you need that I got that might help you build.
But you said the word right there. Share.
Share bear.
Share bear. Unfortunately, nobody wants to share. They want to have the selfish bear. Same S. Same E. Different meaning. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of y'all thinking like, dang, did he really spell that right? Yeah, I spelled it right.
People feel too like what they have acquired, what the energy they gave, that no one else deserves it because they didn't put in that same effort or work.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like a lot of selfishness derives from, man. And it's like, but here. My thing is, man, some people think that what they acquire, like, was legitimately for them. Mm-hmm. But we are in a service industry. So we are to service others in so many ways, shapes, and forms. And if you don't think that, everything you've ever done in your walk of life is that. And it's like, if you're not serving the industry, then you're idle.
Well, but also you have to think of when you've learned something, somebody taught you.
Right.
So you learned it from somewhere. You learned it from somebody. You didn't think it up on your own. Right. You learned it from something you saw. Mm-hmm. So you holding that back in, that's just being selfish because it wasn't yours to begin with. You were taught that, and you're holding it back for what? Because it's only for you.
Yeah. Or so you think. Or so you think. And I say we've been given life, and it's like, how is it that we've been given the ability to do all the things we do in this human form? And you expect and you think it's not natural that you give back. Like,
right,
we are a currency. Like, we are human resources.
Right.
So through that currency, you're supposed to flow. Life flows through to everything we're connected to, and everything is connected. Whether you see it, realize it, or can accept it. It's like,
and again, it shouldn't have to be to the part to where every time it's a different generation and still can't get it right.
Yeah.
Still can't get it right. Still can't get it right. So eventually, it's gonna stop.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I heard too. I heard this. Whatever. I hear a lot of things.
That's what happens when you keep your ears open.
God put us here, right? Mm-hmm. God put us here. He put inside of you something that the world needed. That's why you are here. I don't know how many sperm I had to race, but I made it. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
but mine won.
I was doing the wee dance. Right, I was just in my own way celebrating. I made it.
Right, and your life has a purpose for somebody else's life.
Right.
Like you're not here for no reason.
No, his girls. Prime example.
I was chosen, man. It's like, and I say that as into I was supposed to bring something into this walk of life in this time period right now. Now, if I decide to not give in the service industry and I fail like, so I heard, and I agree with it. God will give you children, so that is a second chance for when you leave this world and you haven't done what you were supposed to do. They now can finish what you.
That's an interesting point.
Well, thanks.
What's going on?
You can look at this two ways: positive and negative.
I mean,
you don't have children,
right?
So it's still in you,
right?
Now you're gonna always get second chances in your walk of life. That's failing. God didn't be like, all right, that's it. It just backslapped you.
See, I feel like we do get multiple chances, and you see that in your everyday life, because we fail a lot. We're human. We fail a lot, and I mean, I definitely did not do everything right.
I fell down the steps this morning.
Right now, I've been given multiple chances. It's just you have to be able to see those multiple chances, and when you realize, okay, I messed up, but I got another chance. You know, you should be doing your best to make it right the next time. Like, okay, let's do this right this time.
But how many people actually catch that?
Not a lot of people.
Exactly.
Not a lot of people at all.
We're in the wheel of selfishness.
But if one person can do it, then that's hope that another person can do it.
That's hope.
There's got to be hope. Otherwise, what are you doing it for?
Yeah. And I just feel like we are all like intricate parts to like building the great idea of our existence. It's happening. It's just at a slower pace because there are many people refusing to live. Simple.
Well, and if you view the whole world as like one body, everybody's trying to do different things. Like they see somebody's job and they're like, oh, I want that. But like if you view our body and say your job is the skin and I'm the nail, I'm gonna look at you and be like, but I want to be the skin. We can't all be the skin. We can't all be that.
We can't all be a chief.
We all can't be, right. We all can't be the brain. We all can't be the eye, because then we're just one big eyeball. So we have to have our individual parts, and a lot of people don't want to take on their role. And some people know what their role is, and they just don't want to do it.
I tell most people, know your role and shut your mouth.
Right, so maybe somebody's role isn't their mouth, but they really want that.
Role is maybe the toilet paper.
That's not on the human body. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
you're
broader.
absolutely right. But that's what's holding us back from a lot of things, man. But if you look at it from all that we said, it's like now you can see the confusion, the chaos.
Yeah.
That's mixed in. It's almost like we are purposely been thrown off by entertainment, by the idea of what you could be,
money,
how you're not enough.
Money.
It's all just really life distractions. And so I made another song, man. I ain't even. It's one of those like, when I make music, I gotta tell you this, when I make music, I'm not really making it necessarily to be anything, or like it's like I just got something to say, and I just feel like if you can catch it in the rhythm, you might learn from it. That's it. But I wrote another song, and it's one of those like where you think, that sounds cool, and then you like let it go, but then it doesn't go away. It's just still there.
Like a catchy?
It's just there, and it's just been there, and I'm like, okay, that's just one of those ideas again that I hold back. And it's like, okay, who really needs to hear this? Somebody.
Who's the one that this is going to?
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely want to start. Now that I got this thing, I actually want to start doing like I don't know how it's gonna work, but I definitely want to start doing more talking to the people about Bible, about God, about things that they use God in their everyday life and stuff like that. And I want to talk to people that don't use it. Because we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that at all. Well, nobody talks about that at all. So, excuse me. It's just something I want to start doing. I don't know if I'm going to do it here, but I'm going to do it. And again, still going to talk about mental health because that's big.
And lots of people are struggling with it. Lots.
A lot of people aren't saying anything.
Yeah.
Well,
silent men.
They just
silent men believe it or not, the silent men are the scariest ones because they all got guns. Anything is possible.
Come out with a machete.
Man, yeah.
I mean, as of right now, it's just like that's. I don't even know if you need a distraction for that. Or would you rather face it? Because again, if you do face it, for example, me going into my 40s, I literally called my dad and I was like, hey, how was this? How was this transition going like for you in your 40s? And he told me, I ain't gonna disclose it on here, but he told me everything, and I was just like, oh, now that makes sense. So this is why I'm struggling the way I'm struggling. People don't realize, if you watch The Matrix, I'm gonna say it again, if you watch The Matrix, he goes to the source.
I am Trinity.
He goes to the source. Folks, this goes right back to tools. Go to your source. And if you can't talk to them, talk to somebody next in line. Mm-hmm. Go to your source. Your source is the only thing that could tell you what's going on, because it could tell you down the line what kept happening. Now it's your time to break it. Mm-hmm. Go to your source. If they lie to you, figure out the truth. You're there for a reason. So that's what I did. I went to him. He told me everything, and he just told me to breathe. He said, don't get down to the bottom. Don't get down to the bottom, because that's where I was. He was. And he doesn't want to see his only son do that. And I was like, it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's very, very hard. But he talked to me. He understood, like, this is my son coming to me. Forget the past. What are you doing for my now? Mm-hmm. That's what he's doing, and he's being the father that, you know, he should have been a long time ago, but that's what he's doing now. Yeah. So to me, it's just like, all right, I'm listening to you. All right, you're making sense. All right, cool.
But see, second chance. There's always another chance.
But see, that's the thing. I ask people and I talk to people, willing, yeah. And yes, and because of that, that's what makes me different from most guys. Right. Because I'm not gonna sit here and just keep holding it in, especially over something petty or stupid. I'm gonna talk to somebody that's actually gonna help me grow. Yeah. That's versus, you know, beating me down, versus saying, you know, F this person, forget that person, why this person, da 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 da. Why are you doing that? I need you to lift me, not keep kicking me.
People are brought into your life for a season. Some people aren't meant to stay. Some people are meant to be put in your life so that you learn a lesson from them. And then after a while, it doesn't always have to be bad, but after a while, sometimes it's just their time to go, and they don't stay with
I ain't even giving people that long anymore. I'm giving you 3 months. You got 90 days on the job.
90 days subscription.
So you've evaluated your performance.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you.
It ain't working. It ain't working. So if like, what happened, bruh? I'm gonna be real with you, man.
If you didn't know what happened,
you got a lot going on in your life, man, and yeah, bruh. And
especially that I'm gonna say, you have any questions for me?
Especially those,
you good?
especially those ones that's just like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? You at the crib? I need a ride. Okay, well. I'm not Uber. I'm not, what's the other one? Lyft. I damn sure ain't yellow cab.
Motherfuckers always late.
I ain't blue cab. I'm me. So if I choose to pick you up, that's my choice. You don't call me and ask me anything.
The person you're trying to reach, right? Gotta give you a ride.
Because the thing is, like I tell people all the time, right? I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, you wasn't there when I needed my oil change. You wasn't there when my tire got flat.
Yeah.
You wasn't there when I just needed some car detailed. You wasn't there. So if you wasn't there for that,
you're not gonna be in the car.
You're not gonna be there for a ride. And again, that's how you lose friends, but again, that's how you be real. Because if not, people gonna keep taking advantage of that, and then you're gonna be 36, going on, 40. I'm still doing the same dumb thing.
But they taught you something. Mm-hmm. All right, not gonna give this guy a ride anymore. Mm-hmm.
But again, 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah.
It don't take nobody. It don't take nobody no damn season. Like, yeah, for real. You need to. Hey, something needs to wake up. This is stupid.
I said he brings people in your life. I didn't say he brings the car.
Hey,
what's talking about the car?
Hey, it's like this.
Premium Keller Escalade.
You have got to realize, okay, this has been happening too many times.
I want a sunroof.
No, it's not how it works.
Seat warmers are important, and I must.
And then on top of that, people are like, hey man, your gas getting low. You want to get out the car?
Extra weight makes me
See,
more
back,
gas.
we ain't got that much time, so I'm gonna make this quick. Back in the day, when people used to ask for a ride home, I lived down the road. When you say down the road, why you can't just walk? If you live down the road, and then they say, "Oh nah, I live over there near Piedmont." I'm sorry, what?
That's a long way.
That's not down the road.
That's not down.
I've had so many employees, especially when I had a car, my first car. I would have people say, "Hey man, you mind taking me?" Da 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 da. I was like, "All right, cool, no biggie. We work together, whatever." I ended up taking you at least a good hour away from my place.
That's down the road.
And not realizing, bro, you live way out here? Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna get home because back in the day, them GPSs was not.
They didn't work out.
They weren't working out, especially if you had a Nokia and stuff like that. They had GPS.
Nokia.
They had a snake, but that's about it.
Nokia was indestructible though.
Mm-hmm.
Indestructible.
It should have got you from. Matter of fact, they need to redo that in the phone. Anyway, yeah, I ended up being like an hour away, and I'm talking about when I tell you I was in the sticks, I saw every star in the sky. No, that was a lesson right there. So when people say I live down the road, I'm like, where do you live? What's down the road? All right, so you know where? I need landmarks. I need you to tell me where you going. How long did it take you to get here today? Well, with the traffic, took me like 45 minutes. So in other words, it's gonna take you 30 minutes to get home. So you live 30 minutes away from here. All about how far do you live? Matter of fact, nah, I'm going home. Bye. And that's what you got it. It's the Coco Show. David Strand, DJ KDS, Miss Jess.
Goodbye.
Yeah, you heard it today. Tools. Learn them, man. Learn them. Know life, know yourself, stupid.
And when you finish using my tools, put them back.
Put them back.
You're not putting my shit
Y'all have
back.
kids to teach them new tools so that way they can continue your legacy. Remember, legacy is the key.
Next time I see my socket wrench on the table, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I'm gonna whoop you.
So, this is it for the Coco Show with me, David Strand. It's chocolate, baby.
Thank you for listening to The Coco Show. Check out other episodes on Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. You can also listen to current episodes on freedomkradio.net. If you have a topic idea that you would like us to discuss on this platform, feel free to email us at 1tccshow@gmail.com. Again, that's 1tccshow@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe to The Coco Show and share with all your friends. Thanks again for listening.